Then I'm just going to move forward a little bit towards concepts. And concepts kind of tie it all together. So thinking about communication, thinking about touch, thinking about social emotional development, it all then is tied together. And how does this child produce a picture of the world? What is the world to them? What are those early learning concepts that kids who have vision and hearing get immediately just from, observing their world and incidentally? What are those concepts that we maybe need to teach a little bit differently? And some of the things to think about are, a concept versus a skill. So the concept might be that my milk lives in the refrigerator and then my mom takes it out and then she brings it to me and then together, we drink the milk. Whereas the skill might be just being able to, lift the bottle to lips and drinking the milk. So really, what is the routine around that concept and how can we build a greater understanding of what these concepts are, these really early concepts? So thinking about there's like a hierarchy. So the first one is really thinking about what are the concrete concepts? What does it mean to be a chair? What does it mean to be a table? What does it mean to be a bottle? What is that? What is that concept that there are many bottles or that there are many chairs and they all kind of fall under this category of chair? The next one is sort of an action one. It's more the abstract things. It's like jumping or running or talking. What does that mean? And then the last one is sort of these more abstract concepts like nervousness. And also those are a lot of the social concepts, these concepts of what does it mean to be a family? What does it mean to be scared? What does it mean to be alone? And that's just things to kind of think about when teaching concepts, that there are so many different levels of concepts. It's not just the concept of in and out or open and shut. And they kind of fall into 4 categories. So there's the concepts of people and then the relationships between people. There's objects, there's places, and then there's the routines, actions, and activities. In thinking about object concept development, there's first just the awareness and understanding that objects exist. And this is hard when you don't have vision and hearing or have compromised vision and hearing to know that your high chair is always there. Or your ball might not be in the place you put it in last night, but it's still there this morning, just in a different spot. And that goes to the objects have permanence, which we talk so much about object permanence in early intervention, but often that's, anticipating that a ball that's rolled under the couch will come out on the other end. But if you can't see that it's going to come out on the other end, how do you experience that tactually to really start to build that understanding of the concept? Then there's objects differ. So even if they're both balls, that they might be different balls and they still fall into this category of what is a ball, but then they have names and labels, that they have characteristics like bumpy, soft, shiny, hard, fast, slow, and then that they also have functions. So what do we use these objects for? Going back to really thinking about how concepts build, and I talked about this a little bit before, since the essential information is missed, all kids who have combined vision and hearing loss have this struggle to understand their world and to obtain information. And so to give that to kids with combined vision and hearing loss, you really have to think about how can you bring these experiences to them? How can you bring these concepts to them through hands-on experiences, through shared experiences, which you'll see in a video in just a couple of minutes? How can you really thoughtfully present experiences so that they can expand their understanding of the world? How can you say, rather than we're going to put your shoes on and go outside, how can we think about, I put on my shoes, you put on your shoes. What does that mean? We're going to open the door together. I'm going to show you the shoe before so that you know what this means. How can we really build a rich routine? And this is really hard when you have families who are really stressed, really tired, and feeling overwhelmed. How can you support families to build this, into their day when they're already feeling totally harried and exhausted? And some of the things that we've really worked on is how can you, create sort of a matrix of a routine and think about the elements and start small, start with just one routine and then move forward to really think about how to build those concepts and to make it richer. And then also just keeping in mind, as we talked about with kids being multimodal learners, how can you build in signs, so sort of more symbolic language, while also keeping sort of more concrete and grounded experiences around using real objects and your body to really give a full picture of what's happening.
Yeah, so this is actually a video that kind of exemplifies a little bit of all of what we've been talking about up until this point, about the importance of creating consistent routines, reading the total body and all the gestures, et cetera, of the child, and how to make something, when you do put it into a routine, consistent enough where the child can participate within the routine. and you're going to see a lot of things as we roll the tape about different concepts that are part of this experience. So as you guys watch it, think about what conceptual knowledge this young man named Daniel needs to know in order to participate in this activity, but also to what concepts the teacher either has decided that he does know because she's taught him, or that she's trying to reinforce for him